Hi, my name is Joni. I'm a licensed mental health counselor. I work with Personal Counseling Service, and I have an office here at 305 Oliver.
I'm Pastor Donnie Whitlow, and I also have an office here at 305 Oliver. I'm one of the pastors here at First Capital, and I'm the care pastor, and I do a lot of counseling here. So for the next few minutes, Joni and I are going to talk about anxiety and the different ways that it affects you and it affects your life. What is anxiety, Joni?
Well, anxiety is a God-given gift that tells us that something is wrong. It is a warning system that says, hey, there's danger, there's a threat, and it tells us that we need to move into action.
I've never heard it described as a God-given. Where do you come up with that theology? Help me with that.
Because the body's doing what it's supposed to do, right? God designed us to be able to, our body to be able to recognize danger. Like if a car is getting ready to hit you, you probably don't want to have to waste time thinking about it and then hey, that's danger. Wait, what should I do? Oh, I should move and then jump out of the way. It was God's gift to say, there's danger coming, jump, get out of the way.
I think the most important word you used there was recognize, because that's the difficult part, is to recognize what the problem is.
Yes.
Because until we know, we don't know.
Absolutely.
I think I'll go back to what Joni said. In the beginning, I just know something's not quite right, that I can't figure out what it is. And at times I wonder what's wrong with me and why is everybody else okay? And I have this issue I'm dealing with.
Oftentimes people will experience feeling isolated. Some people feel activated. Maybe they might feel jittery. Other people feel completely shut down.
Yeah.
Like they can't, they just feel like they can't function, they can't move, they don't want to go anywhere.
A lot of people feel like they can't breathe,
Yep.
or like they've got something
Absolutely.
weight on their chest. It affects everybody in different ways, and sometimes it's just paralyzing. You can't even speak.
Absolutely, yeah. I think most people recognize the whole heart racing piece, right? When my mind is racing and my heart starts beating really fast, those are two of the psychosomatic pieces that people will notice probably first.
Yeah, and it's hard to distinguish, is that pressure, is that stress, or is that anxiety? What is it?
Right. No. Like I said, it's actually your body, your brain, your body is doing what it's supposed to do. The problem is, this is where we find our issue, is that we live in a culture that champions doing the most, right? How many of us have said, man, she's doing the most, right? And that's supposed to be a good thing, right?
Yeah.
We're supposed to multitask. If you don't think that, just watch TV for at least 1 hour. Just pay attention to the commercials. What are we told? Is that we need to hurry, hurry, hurry. We need to do the most. We need to be able to make the most of our time. And it's that sense of having to do the most, having to do more.
I don't necessarily think it's something wrong with you, but I do think you have to figure out how to manage it.
Yes.
You do have to come up with some tools that you can manage it. And they're really simple, but until you know them or until you put them into practice, you don't know what to do with it.
Absolutely. And like you said, it becomes debilitating.
Yeah. I think you should talk to someone when you can't manage it on your own. When it becomes debilitating, where I can't speak, or I can't function in my job, or I can't function in society. And then who do I speak to and how do I do that? I think that becomes a big question too.
Absolutely. Talking things out, as we say, there's more room out than in, right? Talk all the time.
I like that.
Right?
I'm gonna use that.
So just say it. If you want to talk to your dog about it, I recognize that I'm feeling kind of nervous right now. I feel overwhelmed. Speak it out loud. Hey, if you are someone who likes to talk to God regularly, He's always there to listen. And you could always say, God, I'm feeling this is a phrase I learned when I worked in the prison, some type of way. I love it. I don't even know how to describe that, but I feel some type of way. Just start talking.
Yeah, there are people, they'll go obviously when we talk to people, we go backwards before we go forward.
Yeah.
And there are people, as a little boy and a little girl, who had anxiety. They had no idea what it was. And it freaked them out.
Absolutely.
And they didn't know what to do with it. So they walked through the biggest part of their life just struggling terribly with it until they figured out what it was and how to manage it.
And when you name something, it loses its power.
Amen.
You know, and so my youngest, when she was little, she would periodically wake up and she'd have these horrible stomach aches or headaches, and you know, all the time. I was like, hey, what's wrong? What did you eat? And then we started to recognize a little bit of a pattern here. So we started to ask her, where do you feel it at? And what does it feel like? And she would, you know, I feel butterflies, or so once we realized that it was,
and then you could start to connect it to what
all
she
the
had
time.
been doing
Absolutely.
that day and where
what
she had been,
coming up
or
in
was
school.
it in school? Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think some of the things that you can use to manage anxiety is, first and foremost, recognizing it for what it is, and not that it's always the enemy.
Right.
That it can be your friend.
Yep.
In the past, most people, when they very first recognize what it is, they think, I have to get rid of this because it's killing me.
Yes.
Yeah. So in reality, you can't get rid of it, but you can use it to your advantage.
If you ever get rid of it, you're dead. Right? You know what I mean? So like, it's not even like possible to get rid of anxiety because it's there for a reason, right?
Yeah.
It's the fact that when it becomes more, like we say, that it starts driving your bus.
There's degrees of it.
Yes.
Yeah. And so once you recognize where you're at, you can manage it. And there's a lot of tools. I mean, in this short video, I don't think we have time to get into all of those.
No.
But there are lots of tools out there.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up our time here on anxiety, I just want to remind you that there is help out there. There's a link here on this video that you can click on that link. And if you want to connect with Joni or I, or maybe that doesn't work for you, there's other avenues and there's other videos there. So check that out. We'll see you soon.